In the modern day of DC, in the place of the Guardians of the Universe's destruction, a new government has formed. A government consisting of a vast collection of species from across the entire DC universe. This government becomes known as the Galactic, the United Planets. Now, I'm not the kind of guy who's like an anarchist or anything along those lines, so I recognize the need of a government. Because people often criticize the government for doing things that they shouldn't do throughout history, and I think that that's completely fair. But what happens when the very criminals and empires who've threatened the universe throughout all of space and time suddenly come to having all the political power in the universe? You'd be surprised at just how quickly things can crash and burn with these monsters at the helm. Everyone was so quick to judge the Guardians of the Universe for making so many poor decisions over the course of 10 billion years. So let's see how many mistakes and just how bad things can get in less than 6 months with the people from the universe outside of the Guardians of the Universe running it. Let's discuss the top 10 worst things so far that the United Planets has done or is doing. And let me tell you, it's far worse than you could ever have imagined. But I'm not here alone today. Today I find myself with channel homie Rockin' Alice, who is to discuss the wonderful nightmare that is the United Planets.
Hi guys, it's me, Rockin' Alice. I hang out in Lumos the server all the time, and we've been going over the Galactic the United Planets for a while, ever since they've been coming out, and it's looking like an experience.
It's funny how it keeps getting worse every chapter. When something comes out, because like even at the end of even when we were like just starting up, we lightly discussed some of the events of this. We were like, oh wait, we could add more stuff because more things had happened. Like the new GL chapter came out, and we were reading over it. We're just like, bro, this gets so much worse. So let's find out officially how bad the United Planets can shit the bed. And like I said earlier, it's impressive. So, with no further ado, let's go on the wonderful experience that is how bad the United Planets are in 6 months. So, I think I'll start this bad boy off, and I'm going to start this bad boy off with a hot one. Okay, so the United Planets, everything we've discussed so far, it's basically the Galactic Senate of all these different races inside of DC coming together to make some stuff happen. So, like, what horrible things could they possibly do? How bad could they shit the bed? Well, number one here is a classic example, because the United Planets already has a plan to take over all of the Lantern Corps that exist in the universe, and they're not even good at doing that, really. And like, how could you not be good at that? Well, there is a bunch of different lanterns from the prior faction of the Green Lantern Corps when it was ran by the Guardians. Like, all the ones from Earth. I mean, you've got like Kilowog, Salak, all the goated characters. Anybody who basically didn't quit was immediately used by the United Planets, and they're doing everything they can to get them to quit. So like, they're already trying to get all these lanterns to quit simply by misutilizing them. But worse so than that, they misutilize them on the far side of the universe, in places they know they'll hate, which, okay, I get that. That's kind of like a savvy plan, right? But the problem is that their plans to take over all the Lantern Corps that exist was so obvious that these people, including Joe Moline and Kyle Rayner at the edge of the universe, even they're figuring out this plan and hearing about it. Like, how are you going to be like the ultimate like Illuminati space government when random figures can figure out your plan when they're nowhere near your base of operations? Like, oh no, that's just such a rip. But like, okay, maybe you're thinking, well, that's not too bad. Maybe Joe Moline and like Kyle Rayner are just like goated. Maybe they just know what's up. Well, don't worry, we have plenty more of horrible things and decisions that they make as time goes on. How about you, Rob? Why don't you hit us with number 2 over here with what they're repping?
Okay, so our second point, which actually hinges upon our last point, is that we get the introduction of a character we've been waiting for a long time. Our boy, Razor. Now, it's great when we first see him, but unfortunately, he brings us bad news. The blue central power battery has apparently been destroyed. And then he goes on to tell us exactly how it happened. All the Blue Lanterns are just chilling out on Odom. Next thing they know, they get attacked by pirates. Now, Odom is a very hidden planet for the most part. Like, it is extremely difficult, as in Larfleeze had to make a deal with the Guardians to find out its location.
Yeah.
So, it's not something you just find out there. It's something you have to be told about where's there. So these random alien pirates find out about it and apparently blow up the battery without any of the Blue Lanterns noticing this. And then they get attacked.
Well, like, I think the battery explodes, and then the pirates just so happen to show up immediately after. Like, are you kidding? How are random fucking pirates just gonna know when that happens? Like, come on now. And random pirates had the equipment to blow up a central power battery? You fucking for real? Sorry, I'm losing it over here.
You're fine. And then, to make it even better, shortly after this, some United Planets lanterns show up, and we get one of the weirdest things possible. They're able to shift their green rings to the color of hope. And that's strange, because there's no central power battery, so you shouldn't be able to do that, but you shouldn't be able to change your ring regardless. So we're already seeing, wow, this is strange. And then we're told later on in this own run, Jessica Cruz, as apparently was sent off on a mission to blow up Larfleeze's central power battery, which is kind of strange because he doesn't actually physically have one other than his personal battery. But yeah, they get a mission to blow that up. So, from the United Planets, telling us, yeah, it's very likely they sent someone to blow up the blue central power battery.
And they even specify during that run, they're like, yeah, this Black Ops mission we sent you on, like, clearly this is like heavy undercover stuff that they're doing. So definitely strange. It seems that they clearly have a plan to like overthrow all the Lantern Corps, as I said in the first one, but following up in yours, it's not just a plan, they're enacting those plans, like actively to destroy the other Lantern Corps. Like, what? Because the Lantern Corps have never saved the universe or anything. What could go wrong?
Yeah. We had a strange event with the yellow battery flashing. We don't actually see what happens after the fact yet, but we suspect it's probably been blown up as well.
Yeah. Especially after those incidents, but that's a whole other thing going on down the way here about their whole little wonderful trip to Korugar. But like, worse so than that, it's like, okay, well, they don't like Lantern Corps. Okay, I could see any government not wanting like massive military factions that could threaten portions of like the universe. I understand why they would want to do that, but like, I mean, they have a purpose. So if you think, okay, them dismantling the other corps isn't too bad because some of them really are sadistic, like Larfleeze. Oh well, don't worry. It doesn't just stop with people who are in like the military side of things. So something that I thought was just like absolutely insane for good old number 3 over here was, yo, these guys just like are blatantly cool with like slavery. To follow up on some of the things that you had said about the follow-up with the Blue Lantern Corps after it was detonated, like they just showed up and started enslaving all the Blue Lanterns after their core was destroyed. So like, if they were the ones who orchestrated that, they definitely just enslaved basically the most peaceful people in the multiverse, people who literally give into the concept of hope. But then, even past that, on other worlds where we know they are, Lord Premier Tharos, the guy who runs basically the entire thing, he rolls up and basically just throws a bunch of people into slavery. Like, it's really messed up, man. Like, he says, oh yeah, I'm like taking you guys in and shit, but like, low-key, I think the Galactic, I almost said the Galactic Senate again. Low-key, I think the United Planets might be pushing slavery and things along those lines, like in the background of things. I really do think that they're on that Galactic Senate shit where they're just like, it's democracy and they voted on it, so like it's cool. I really do think that's like where they're at.
Yeah. And this actually is our next point. Actually hinges upon our previous one of slavery.
And if you don't,
whereas yeah. Whereas the leader of the people that they save, F4X,
yeah,
it is like, what happens if we can't keep up with our deal? And it's like, he's basically tells them, I will throw you back on your planet that we just refugeed you from, and then in a few months' time, we'll see what you'll make of it.
Yeah.
After you...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
He's like, we will throw you back into the steam yard ghettos where you will not be seen again. And no, right before this, he throws the woman's baby out of his hands. Just at the ground. Then one of his guards catches the baby.
This is my favorite part, bro. Like, he just throws the child on the ground, man. Like, holy fuck. The people ruling this, as you'll find out later, are not the best of people, alright? But you're right. It's basically, hey, you do the shit we want, or like, we'll fuck you. Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, this isn't something on the list, but this is actually something that I think will be really good follow-up for it, too. In terms of them being, like, absolutely horrible. Back to that, like, Jessica Cruz shit. He was like, yo, are you loyal to me only? Like, the leader of the United Planets, are you loyal to me? Because if you're not loyal to me, I could throw you in a gulag and no one here would even question it. Because that's how powerful I am now. Like, that's just how things work. Like, these guys are horrible. If you don't do what they want, they will take everything for you or make your life the most miserable they possibly can. Like they did all the old Greenland.
Like, we make the joke that they're the Galactic Senate, but like, honest to gods, they are.
They
like,
live up to it. Yeah.
Dude is just like, he is Emperor Palpatine after the mask has come off.
Fact. Bro, like, I don't know if this guy ever had a mask. He was just always this guy. You know, Palpatine looks at this guy and is like, man, I wish I could be that out in the open with this shit. Yo. So, rolling up to our next option here. These guys are also questionable. The people running this faction, yo, look at these people, okay? We have like a Dominator over here. We got one of the Tamaranians. We got Goons. We have Daxamites, Sligians, and more. This is an entire pantheon of fuckos. Why would you ever give people like this power? You can't trust these people. They're all evil factions. These guys have literally been in charge of these factions for generations, and all they do is really messed up stuff. Like, the Daxamites are just racist.
Yeah, they've either tried to blow up the Earth, conquer the universe.
Yeah, the universe, like, we're past Earth now. Like, there's Dominators over there. There's a Dominator on this council, dude. Dominators are like the most twisted gene freaks you could ever imagine. They're like one step down from the controllers of the universe. These people are not good people, okay? These people suck. Like, every single one of them. Besides, like, maybe the Sligians. I don't know. You should never give people that are running the United Planets any chance ever to, like, come up with, I don't know, to reign in democracy. This is just a bad idea waiting to happen. Even Brainiac's people have an audience member here, man. And these guys worship Metron. If you don't know how suspect that is, like, Metron gives no fucks to anything besides knowledge. He would let the universe burn to learn shit, bro. I swear to God.
You notice they have a Star Conqueror right in the middle of the council?
Yeah, like, this is just, bro, I'm telling you, like, these guys are just the biggest band of fuckos. But if you think, okay, well, maybe they just are fuckos, and maybe there's like one or two guys in here are total shitters. No, let's move to good old number 6 down here. And talk about their great decision-making skills.
So there's a decision-making skill. They go to the room, all the lanterns previously go and show up, and it's just like, okay, so how are we going to be running things now that you guys are running the show? And it's like, we have decided, as a council, because of Jon Stewart's new battery that's given us powers we don't completely understand, but we're making progress on. It was like, okay, well, we've decided a lot of crises have been coming from 2814. So we have decided, unanimously, that we are going to close off 2814 from the rest of the universe. Now, no, for as many problems as Earth may cause the rest of the universe, it is also the solution to very many, many problems that happen in the rest of the universe. Namely, hey, you got Superman. It's like, you got Superman. You got all the other Green Lanterns. You have all the various heroes that exist. Like, a lot of good comes from Earth. And basically, all the Green Lanterns of Earth are just like, wait, what? Earth is our home. What do you mean you're closing us off from there? And it's just like, they respond, well, it's too many threats. We don't feel like basically handling it. And it's better off we just get rid of it. Yeah, like, and they're just like, well, what happens if we say no? And it's like, well, you can leave your ring here.
But bro, don't worry, Superman has it. Superman's got all of her.
Yeah.
Don't worry, all of Sector 2814. Don't worry.
And then they give people their assignments.
And that's where they fuck them over each individual. They're like, hey, you go to the end of the universe. You're gonna be, you're gonna go die Lobo. You're gonna go die to Lobo. Like, bro, it's messed up. They were giving them the worst fucking ops they possibly could. And they don't even see each other afterwards. They are like immediately sent. Hal later on says like, I don't even know what happened to Kyle.
And Hal gets put on a mission to go see Sinestro. No, it's Hal Jordan. You're sending him in a room with Sinestro.
Of all people to send. To like in terms of power, he's the right guy to have, but like, hey, we're going on a political mission to help talk these guys into our government. So we're gonna send you with the guy who's fought that guy for 40 years. Probably not the best move. But you know what? You know what? Fuck it. Let's roll up to that wonderful fucking decision that they made. So these geniuses are like, yo, we're gonna get like everybody in the universe on board with what's going on here, okay? And if they don't, clearly they're down with their use of force, but there's certain figures they can't they can't just do that with, right? Sinestro being one of those guys. So Lord Premier Tharos, in his infinite fucking wisdom, was like, yo, dude, we're gonna go talk to Sinestro. And Hal's like, bro, are you fucking insane? You're gonna go talk to Sinestro? You don't talk with Sinestro unless, like, you're fighting in the middle of it. Like, come on. And he's like, nah, dude, we can negotiate with Sinestro. And Hal and Kilowog are both like, bro, we're all gonna fucking die. So they roll up to Korrigar. They roll up onto the planet. And Premier Tharos really thinks he's gonna negotiate with this shit. And in the middle of the negotiation, a bunch of yellow lanterns roll up and start banging the place up. So, like, Kilowog starts swinging hands with all these fucking yellow lanterns. And Hal takes Lord Premier Tharos away, and he's like, bro, why would they attack me? I'm Lord Premier Tharos. And Hal's like, bro, he doesn't give a fuck who you are. That's Thal Sinestro. He's killing you, whoever you are. If you put yourself in the leader of the entire galactic government, or the entire universal government, of course you're putting the crosshairs on your head. That's fucking Sinestro. And during this battle between everyone, the central power battery for the Yellow Lantern Corps explodes with energy and has apparently killed Kilowog. Man, these dumb motherfuckers managed to kill Kilowog during this. Oh, I'm combining multiple of these. But these dumb motherfuckers managed to kill Kilowog just out of stupidity. A problem they entirely could have avoided by just listening to the fucking Green Lanterns. Like, hey, by the way, like, speaking of which, this is number 8, like, if we go there, he's probably going to kill us all, because that's what Sinestro does, is kill people who show up and make threats. Because that's what Premier Tharos was fucking doing, was rolling up and saying, if you don't sign up, we'll kill you. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. This is the dumbest thing they ever could have done. The next dumbest thing they could have done was go to the Red Lantern Corps and be like, let's negotiate with them. Like, good fucking luck negotiating with those irrational folks. My bad, I took 2 of those up because I didn't even realize it until like halfway through. But feel free to take this next one, bro. That one triggered the fuck out of me. Holy shit.
Yeah. And so we get a hint in our next point about why the United Planets is going around destroying central power batteries. So, a little bit ago, not even, was it 2 years, Lumos? We got the new battery?
I think it's the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, somewhere in there. Yeah, it's somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah. So about a little over 2 years ago, John Stewart basically goes through an event, ends up creating a source battery. It's basically a battery powered by source energies. And it's supposed to have all the energies of the various cores inside of it. And we didn't think there was a reason for the United Planets to go destroying them. But what we find out here is that when these 3 dudes, show up to Hal Jordan and just in front of Madame Zatandu's house, they blast right through this thing, through all her protections and everything. And they're just like, yo, we're here for that Blue Lantern. He is not supposed to be here. He is under arrest.
He's supposed to be a slave.
Yeah. And so Hal Jordan, being Hal Jordan, is like, you ain't taking my friends. I don't care who you are or who you work for.
Fuck you up.
And so they go to arrest him, and he cuts their construct. Is just like, all right, we gonna do this. And then, for some reason, this dude, our little Birdman, turns his ring from green to yellow. And then we get another point of another one facing Razor turns from his green to blue. No, we know the blue was destroyed. We're told the orange was as well, although we don't know where that actually battery was located.
We do know that Sinestro couldn't use his yellow ring.
Yes.
Something interesting, yeah, to point out.
Yeah, Sinestro couldn't use his, and we suspect it was blown up. We're not sure yet. And then we see them turn from yellow to blue, and then I believe later on we see one of them turn red.
Red, multiple, yeah.
Yeah, so we suspect the red one has been destroyed. So we think they're just blowing up these batteries so that they get access to all of they can mainline the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Razor specifically says the red one he had heard rumors of the red one being destroyed too.
Yes. So we have rumors for the red one being destroyed, and it seems that they're destroying them. So instead of all the main reservoir of basically in this interpretation water, instead of it going to that dam for that central power battery, it's starting to go to the source battery so that they can pull it for their lanterns.
Like I understand all of those things, but it's like, bro, how are you doing that? But then like, how do you have such strong ass lanterns, but they're all just like idiots, bro? Or like assholes. Yeah. Like that's the thing that kills me.
They see Hal Jordan. They don't even know he's Hal Jordan, and he's just like, "Why are you arresting him?" I was like, "Oh, because he's not a slave. He's not supposed to be here."
And like that's the thing that gets me is they just like start swinging hands. They're like, we don't know what to do. Let's think about it. Fuck it. We'll take them both in. They just start swinging hands. Like no, there's like 3 seconds of like maybe we should think about this. Maybe we should call back home. No, fuck it. We'll just kick their asses. Like no thought put into this shit.
No, they still call themselves Green Lanterns. So by all standards, they're cops before they are anything else.
Yeah, their disregard for like anything outside of their own law, which to be fair is a very ironic like Green Lantern thing too. Like it makes sense because it's a real parallel to like the original Lanterns and stuff. But the fact that they're just such assholes about it, like that's what kills me. Is he's like, yo, this guy was designated for slavery. He's not in slavery, so yeah, we gotta take him back. Fuck it, and we'll kick everyone's ass on the way to doing that. But like, they're assholes for sure because they step up there and they cause those problems. But even later on, remember when they roll up to Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart's like, "Yo, what's going on, guys?" And they're like, "Hey, we detected emotional spectrum in this area. We're gonna beat your ass now because you're using some." It's like no questions asked at all.
Yeah. They assume he's using a power ring, and he's just like, no. Do you know who I am? I don't need a power ring.
How do you not know who I am? I'm fucking Jon Stewart. Where you get your power from? I made that, bro. How have you not heard about me? Like, even through passing. So they're, and I think there's even a moment later on with, like, Razor, right? Where he hits one of them in the head with a rock, and he's like, yo, you guys are still amateurs, so you don't know to keep your shields up during combat. Like, at all points in time. It's like, it could be some level of naivety, but also stupidity, right? Because they have rings that have an infinite information center in them, and they're not utilizing them actively.
Yeah. Instead of waiting for them to leave the house and just grabbing them, they just decide to blow up the house and possibly kill everybody who's inside of it as well.
Yeah, blow up shit first, ask questions later. Which, that's a very Hal thing, but Hal will gauge things before he starts just blowing shit up. One of Hal's big fears is he's afraid to kill people nearby. And these guys don't have that fear, so it makes them more realistic, but it also makes them incredibly stupid and look incredibly arrogant. Like, Jon Stewart beat the dog shit out of them for talking shit. I think he even punches one of them in the fucking orbit for talking all that shit. He's like, bro, you put me in chains again. You better be making sure I'm a fucking dead man. Because I'm going to put your ass underneath the goddamn... I can't even say under the earth, bro. I'm going to put you in orbit, like outside of Earth. You can't even hit the dirt with how hard I'm going to hit you. But like, that's the thing is, there's all these problems going on with the United Planets. Whether it's their lanterns being stupid, even if they're incredibly jacked. Whether it's the leaders all being fucking evil. Whether it's the guy who's amassed all the power, Premier Lord Tharos, just being a horrible human being. Whether, I mean, any of the problems that's going on, and funnily enough, they're building all the problems that are going to be their downfall. At every point in time, they try to increase their power by clipping away at the things that made the old systems work. And then those old clippings form themselves, unironically, into a different core. And now that's going to start attacking them, which is what we're seeing with like Joe Moline and like Kyle Rayner. I'm interested to see just how big of a downfall the United Planets is going to have. What do you think?
I think like this is gonna blow up in everybody's faces. I'm interested to see like if the Green Lanterns, the ones from Earth, will bring this up to Superman at one point. Because you find out all of this was Superman's idea.
True. Superman set up everything here, man. Everything. He didn't do it all himself. He kind of implanted the ideas required for all of this to happen and set things in motion. And then also the Guardians died. So it did not help.
Yeah. Yeah. That probably didn't help. But like, he doesn't look up on that like
he didn't follow up for sure.
Like
he should be following up logically. It seems strange that like he gave all these. One of the best parts about Superman is that he is he's such a good person. And because he's such a good person, he always believes in the best of people. But it's kind of like a civilian saying democracy always works. But then you go and you talk to a cop who's been through every riot that's ever happened in the United States. And he's like, yeah, democracy is great, but I've got scars for the rest of my life to show you how fucking great democracy is, right? So like, it's a funny parallel, I think, between those two ideologies. Superman, where he's like, people will always do the right thing. And then like the Green Lantern Corps, who's like, we see how much people don't do the right thing. Like literally every day. Yeah.
Like, we got most of the empires in space literally defined by not doing the right thing.
Truth, justice, and the American way. Well, guess what? The American way fucking ends at the Sector 2814. Okay, actually, you know what? Not even at the end of Sector 2814, because you've got all sorts of horrible shit out, even in just our space sector, okay? Including, like, the fucking Compassion Lanterns. So, like, Truth, Justice, and the American way in DC fucking ends at the goddamn atmosphere of the planet. Unless Superman is traveling out and about. But that's the problem with Superman, is he goes out there every once in a while, and then he implants ideas like this, and then for the next 5 to 10 years, it's the Lantern Corps who has to deal with the fucking problems that he teaches them. Oh no.
Like, it was a good idea. Unfortunately, you didn't take a look at the circumstance of, like, the people around you when you were saying the idea, and thinking about what they would do with it.
If this was on Earth, I think this could work. I genuinely think that this could work. It would be hard, but I think you could still get this to work. But, like, Superman can't be everywhere in the universe at once. None of the Lanterns can even be everywhere in the universe at once. That's why they were such an effective force, right? That's why they operated the way that they did for at least 5 billion years, depending on what point in time you believe certain things happen. But that's the unique thing, as I said at the very beginning of the video. All of these decisions have occurred within, like, 6 months. All these bad fucking nightmare decisions, this is 6 months worth. The Guardians made some really bad decisions, but that was over 10 billion years of ruling the universe. Did some of them get real crazy? Yeah. Did even they wind up becoming villains? Yeah. But at least it took them 10 billion years to salt over. These motherfuckers had 6 months, and the entire universe is falling apart slowly but surely. And it doesn't seem like any notable heroes from Earth know or care for some reason.
Yeah. Like, some of the examples of, like, if you read other DC comics, you'll find out how bad space is. Because there was literally a Dominator in the Superboy run that literally made a gigantic, superpowered clone army that he was just throwing at planets.
Bro, like, Brainiac just cloned an entire army of Lobos recently, did he not? That's what's going on in the universe right now without the Guardians and, like, the Green Lantern Corps functioning in normal capacity, bro. Like, that's fucking terrifying to think about. But that's the thing, is fuck the United Planets. They're letting everything bad possible happen. And the worst part is they actually want most of those things to happen. So that's why we had to make this video. That's why Rock requested to be in on this video. And if you want to make it into videos like this, hey, do yourself a favor just like he did. a quick dono to request the video and a little bit additional just to make it on, and we'll make something like that happen, especially if you're incredibly intelligent or a wildly knowledgeable whenever it comes to certain fields. And I know whenever it comes to things with the United Planets, Rock was definitely my guy, because we have this conversation like all the time inside our Discord, I swear to God.
Yeah, and the more we break it down, just the worse they get.
Yeah, I won't lie. But that's pretty much everything I've got on the matter, man. What about you? You got anything you want to say on the way out, Rock?
No, I think we said most of it. Yeah,
most of it until war comes out, because it will.
It's like, other than the fact that like, all I say, the Lord Premier is probably gonna pull a Palpatine, gonna be like, "I love democracy."
I love them. I'm about to put that in the video. Oh wait, no, I have that as my thumbnail. Palpatine up front of the Senate. You know, I might do that at some point in time. I might put that text bubble on there. I love democracy. Yes, there's a great vote. But we'll see. But if that's everything, as usual, I'm your host, Lumos Theromax. Be sure to like and subscribe down low, or consider becoming a member like the homie Rock. You get all sorts of fun perks and things, including seeing all of my content early, as well as getting exclusive Discord chats and conversations with me that you won't get elsewhere. And I guess that's pretty much everything, boys. We'll catch you next time, Lanterns. Later.
Aftermath, you'll join my list of dead after I tear you in half. And I laughed at the thought of them controlling me. I'm the ultimate dragon that spawned everything. I resist and defy.